solutions, and I'm very solution driven. I don't care if you don't like my idea. Give me something to work with then.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try to be really open-minded because no one person has all the answers. No one person is right all the time. So multiple minds together is always better. Do some A/B tests, see what works better, and
Exactly.
try them all.
Yeah. And a business partnership is just like a marriage, You're in it 50-50. You're in it 50-50 with the wins, you're in it 50-50 with the losses.
Mhm.
So you have to communicate. You have to communicate and be very open and supportive. And, you know, I just think that that's what's best.
I think that's really good advice. Be open, communicate, be supportive in every relationship, but in your business partners, finances are involved, and so there's kind of higher stakes there, which makes it even more important.
Yeah. And so let's go back to frenemies in a little bit. We started talking about frenemies and like backstabbers in business, So business betrayal can be in the form of like idea theft, which is what I told you happened to me, right? It could be undercutting. It could be approaching clients, like we might be in the same industry and I'm talking to Johnny Boy for to sign with me and you run behind my back and go and talk to Johnny Boy. That did happen to someone I know. Well, two people are in the same line of business, and one person went ahead and was talking to someone. And, both of them knew that person A was talking to Johnny, but person B didn't care. And so person B weaved and went behind person's A back and went to Johnny and try to get Johnny to sign with them. See, that's poaching clients. And
Yeah,
that would be
definitely.
bad to me because you don't want to be a backstabber. And if you know someone is already talking to someone, back off.
Yeah.
Especially if it's your friend. I can see
Right.
it's a whole different company that you have no relationship with and you're trying to maybe gain that person's business and maybe try to give them a better pricing. That's okay. I mean, capitalism, right?
Capitalism.
But the last thing you want to do as a friend is go and poach a client of your friend when you know that person is talking to that person. And I know that happened to someone else. And so because of that, that relationship has been severed. They really don't get along. They really don't talk much. It's more of a social talk. When I see you, it's like, hi, but it's very surface level. And it's because of that. And nobody wants to be talked about that you have no integrity, right?
Right.
And that person's integrity was put into question.
As
Everybody's
it should have been.
yeah, yeah. You have no integrity in business if you're poaching your friends' clients when you know they're already in talks with them. And another betrayal too is gossiping to damage the reputation of a business colleague. And again, I know somebody that happened to. You might not like the person, you might not like their business, but it doesn't serve you purpose to talk bad about that person or their business.
Right.
You don't have to say anything. It's like,
You don't. I wonder what they would get out of that because I don't know you know, I feel like everybody kind of falls in the trap of talking about people sometimes, right? But whenever I do, I always feel like bad about myself. I don't know. Yeah. So whenever like I do fall into that trap of saying something bad about someone behind their back, I always feel like I feel bad about myself when I do that. And I wonder about these other people who are gossiping all of the time. Like, how do they feel inside? I don't know.
probably not bad. Probably not bad because people who tend to do that, to backstab, to approach on your clients, to do all of that, they see it as them getting ahead, right?
Mm, yeah.
Selfishness. It's all about me. It's all about what I can gain. It's all about how I can benefit at the cost of anyone. People who repeatedly and do that sort of stuff, I don't think that it bothers them as much as it would bother maybe you and me or just normal people because
Yeah.
it's a cutthroat, kill or be killed, eat or be eaten. Right? You're
Yeah.
either the nail or the hammer. Which one are you going to be? So I don't think they feel bad.
So people have that different of a mindset. It's really hard to, like, really understand how other people think, and I guess that just shows, like, people really think very different.
Mhm. Yeah.
No, it's hard to understand people like that sometimes.
Yeah. I don't know. And the thing too is when you are betrayed from a friend, it hurts and cuts deeper than it's from a stranger because with a stranger, I never have to see you again and I can move on. I'm like, oh, remember that guy at the gas station that was so mean? I don't even remember what he looked like. You can move on from that. But it's when somebody that you have to see and talk to regularly, it cuts deeper because it's a friend. So people tend to not get over that part of it quicker than. And I think too why betrayal hurts when it's somebody who is close to you, friend, family, spouse, whatever. It's because we tend to have high expectations of people that are closest to us, right? So if my expectation of you is here and you disappoint me, I'm going to go all the way down here to the bottom. But if my expectation of you is here, or I don't have an expectation of you and you disappoint me, then there's nothing to be disappointed about because I understand that you're human. We make mistakes. We all have flaws. It's going to happen. But I think one of the things too is to remove unrealistic expectations of people and swap that out with knowing that people are humans and we have human nature and we're going to do and say things. But I think it's when that betrayal happens. Yeah, and so I think when a friend betrays you, it hurts more because we put way too much expectations on people. And so I think what we should do is to remove that expectation and just know that people are humans. They'll make mistakes. We're flawed. It does happen. And so you save yourself a lot of good by not putting unrealistic expectations on people. And that's not to say that you don't expect your friends not to steal your business idea and
Right,
not include you in on it, but it's just to say that expect people can do anything
right.
regardless of how close they are to you.
Yeah, and I guess over time, you can when you get to know people, you kind of learn what to expect from them. So maybe take things slower,
Yeah.
which can be hard sometimes. I mean, if you meet a friend and you wanna share what's going on in your life, it's just
Yeah.
natural.
It is natural, but like you said, you have to just gauge the temperature of that person. And again, listen to your gut. And again, listen to what other people say. Because if everybody is saying the same thing, everybody can't be wrong.
That's true. Yeah.
So I think too, some practical takeaways to avoid the oversharing, is to set boundaries, right? You should know that within you what you will and will not share with people. And timing, right? You don't know timing of your idea reveals, right? So you don't want to just get an idea and just start spewing every single step, your SWOT analysis. You want to just like put everything out there. You want to gradually share with people as things progress. As you accomplish a major part of the business, then maybe you can share that news. If somebody, for example, somebody comes up with a new product and once you've trademarked that or you've
Yeah.
licensed it or something, then you can share that, right? Because that part, the major part is already done. And of course, it's going to be hard for somebody to come behind and pick that up. But share the wins once they're already
Once
won.
they're Yep. Exactly. Yep.
Exactly. And
Build
set
in silence.
boundaries. Yeah, set boundaries. And it depends on what the idea is too. You might want to give some NDAs. It sounds horrible because it's your friends and you expect that your friends are going to keep your secrets. But again, people are humans. And so if this is a business idea that you cannot allow to get out before it's time, you might want to have people sign NDAs for that.
Yeah. Just look at it as a prenup. It protects you just in case. Yeah, then you don't
Yes.
have to worry about anything.
Oh
Yeah,
god,
but
and so I have a question for you though. Would you, because this has never happened to you, but would you confront a friend who stole your idea, or would you let karma just handle it?
well, it's easy to say, "Yes, I would," but since I haven't been through it, let me really think, like, would I guess it would depend on the relationship. I'm gonna like think about specific friends in my mind. I'm gonna think about my best friend. My best friend's Kristen, and I do share with her like my business ideas, right? And if she went and opened a business, yeah, I would definitely, I would, I'd be like, what is this? What are you doing? And I would have that. Yeah, I would have that conversation for sure. And I've known her for like 7 years now.
Okay.
So, but if it were you and we've known each other for what, like 2, 3 years now,
Yeah.
I feel like it wouldn't be as blunt, but I would still be like, "Hey, I saw like this email and this website, like, and when we had lunch the other
Yeah,
day,
you
you
failed to
didn't."
mention that.
Exactly, exactly. I mean, like, "So what's going on there?"
Yeah. Yeah. Some people might say, let karma handle them, let the business burn to the ground, but
Right,
I feel like maybe just having that conversation is a good way to go because then you won't hold on to resentment. And then that person might understand how you feel and understand, you know, how the betrayal has cost their friendship. And it might make them not want to do that to somebody else in the future. So
right.
it might be worth a conversation.
I agree, I agree. I do think that it should definitely be addressed no matter what stage of the friendship you're in. It just you might change the language a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. And two, I think too, with the execution of your ideas that we talked about earlier, one thing I forgot to mention is that even if somebody steal your idea, for those people who still want to go forward with that business idea but somebody else jumped in front of you, you can still do it. You can just put your own spin on it and make it work. So it doesn't have to be the identical idea that you initially, told your bestie about that she stole. You can still do it, but just do it a little bit differently. Do something that's going to make you stand out differently from her business. Even though you're in the same line of business, there will be some differentiations, right? So it's evident that you guys do, bottle service, but your bottle service is different because now you put a spin on it and now it's kind of like better. So
Yeah, I
I wouldn't give
completely
up
agree.
on the idea. I would just do it a little bit different.
Yeah. There's always multiple businesses in the same space, right? Just
Mhm.
because your friend is there now too doesn't mean you can't do it. And you're a unique person, so your business will be different from
Will
theirs.
be different.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one thing to remember too is that even though betrayal is painful, it can be a lesson in resilience and strategy. So it just will help you go forward, help you rethink how you were doing things. Maybe how you were gonna do that business idea, maybe it wouldn't be so great, but now it's forced you to rethink and re-strategize. And so now you can turn out and be better. Yeah.
Absolutely. Look at it as I know betrayal hurts and it's hard when it happens, but it is a lesson. Make sure you take the lesson from it, and it is a blessing
Yeah.
because you have now identified that person in your life who was a negative force. And when you weed out the negative people in your life, you leave room for more positive things.
Oh, yes, of course. And not everyone that's clapping for you is rooting for you, right? Yep, they can
Very
clap
true.
all they want, but they do not have your best interest at heart. So keep your red flags up and for that in your radar. All right, guys. So let's do a little recap here. We talked about frenemies, competition, backstabbers. And so I invite you guys to reflect on who is in your circle and are they really in your corner? And do they just want to be in your corner because they want to steal from you and pull from you and suck the life out of you? Right. So reflect on that, and just make sure that, like Elle says, you weed out all the people who are not rooting for you. They're clapping and they're shouting, but secretly they're plotting and they're planning.
Absolutely. And take
Absolutely.
your new friendships in business, take it slow.
Take it slow.
Yeah, don't get married on day one. Don't go to Vegas.
Yes.
All right, guys.
All
Well,
right, guys. We'll see
until
you.
next time, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, and we will see you next Monday at 7 p.m.
All right, guys. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.